I love that intro.
It's the best.
I say it every time.
It's the
Hey,
best.
everybody, we're back with the big episode 30. Did you realize today's episode 30?
It went by quick.
Did it 30 episodes?
Yeah, I mean, what we started last year in
Yeah, we did start. You know what? I'm going to go back and
March.
check. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
March.
Let me now I actually want to go back and look. Pull it up on the channel here. Let's go live and let's see. We'll go back 10 months ago.
10 months.
10 months ago was our first live episode, and that was, yeah. Ooh, what a long time ago. We're almost at our 1 year anniversary. 1 year.
1 year. Wow, 2 more months, 1 more year.
Yeah. You have had to put up with me for a year.
It's been longer. At least for the time being. Oh, I got a donation. 25.
Okay.
25 from Anonymous. I see who did it. I know who did it. I just got them. Thank you so much. So generous. I actually.
Okay. They're talking about stuff in the chat while we're doing our normal thing.
Because we got 2 things going on here. Thank you so much for that generous. Rah, rah. So sweet. Dante, what's up? Anyways, what's up, everybody?
So, yeah, we're going to be talking. This is an all Xbox episode because it's the only thing that's happened.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's happening, so I think it's fair. Why not? Let's all discuss Xbox, you know?
Hey, John, Cody, D-Man. Hey, guys, how's it going? Glad you guys are in here. And I got something to show you guys if that's going to be the case. And something to bring up to Nick later on, which I want to bring up to the chat, but it all depends on when. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, so let's start off normally because I'm looking at what's going on over here. And no, let's start with, so what have you been playing?
Oh, dude, I was up so late last night playing the finals. It's so much fun. It's just so much fun. Apex, I was playing with my buddy.
No, I have not.
Apex Legends for a bit, and then he dipped out. Matches were really rough, dude. Like, really rough. And we're like, I can't take this anymore. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play some more games. And I jumped on the finals, spent $20 on cosmetics because I'm an idiot. But it was money. It was money that I got as a gift or whatever. So I used that, and I'm completely exhausted, tired. I was up this morning for work at 6 a.m.
Good job. But hey, you're being a productive member of society.
I was in bed for like 10 minutes before we jumped on.
I took a 3-hour nap.
Oh man, I got off of work early today, and I passed out for hours. It felt great.
My wife and I went and had our monthly massages, and
gosh.
we had some artisan burgers afterwards. It sounds fancier than it is. It's just a burger place right across from the massage place, and they're really good.
What kind of if it's an artisan burger, what do they put it on? Like what kind of bun and the bread?
Hamburger.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
You got the let's talk about the elephant in the room. You got the Abe Lincoln going. As you said it like 5 minutes ago.
Well, it was all just because my mustache was starting to grow in a little weird over here, and the side was like I don't know. You can even see how it's a little darker on this side, and it looked a little weird, and then it was starting to look like patchy. So I just trimmed it down, and it started looking weird, and then I don't have the steadiest of hand anymore now that I'm old, and kept trimming and trimming. I said, screw it, went away. And then, yeah, it'll be back. The mustache takes just a couple days to grow back, and I
can get a wicked mustache going. I can get a good the caterpillar.
See, mine's one of those that just grows long and not bushy, so it just looks weird when it grows over my lip, and I'm like, yeah, no, no, it's kind of weird. But with that being said, I've been playing Helldivers 2.
Helldivers.
Yeah, it
How,
came.
how,
Well, I got it yesterday, and they wouldn't let me play it.
oh, that's wonderful.
So,
So Helldivers.
well, I got it
What
early.
does Helldivers look like again?
Think of Starship Troopers.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a $40 multiplayer online game for PlayStation and PC. Came out day and date from PlayStation Studios, and it's pretty fun. Think it feels exactly like I said, Starship Troopers game, and it's kind of fun. And then I went back to playing some Exo Primal, of course,
Exo
because
Primal, no.
this weekend, well, this weekend's going to be double XP. So I want.
Oh, that's nice. Double XP weekends are always great. I enjoyed those when I played Call of Duty. I kind of semi-retired off of that game for a little bit because.
Yeah, yes, D-Man, you are correct. There was a point in time where I did the whole Wolverine thing and shaved this. I contemplated doing it today as well, but my wife's not a big fan of me not having a beard because I look like a kid without it.
Well, that's not too. I know my friend. She saw me when I see her, I usually like this, and I was clean shaved. The first thing she said to me when she looked at me, she goes, "What did you do to your face?" I was like, "Okay, I'm never shaving with a razor blade ever again."
I've had that before. It's like, what happened to your face? I'm like, wow, you're acting like I got beat up.
Anyway, so. All right, I mean, nice. I'm glad that we were able to play some games this week. I'm glad I was able to play some games, getting back on it. I try to stream, guys. I do. However, it's nice to play games off stream and talk-ish with your friends and not have to censor yourself. So,
which reminded me of those reels I sent you. Are we trash?
Yeah, dude, I reposted that on my story. That. Are we trash? Yes.
A little.
A little. That's great.
I had a friend that I used to play GTA with all the time back in the GTA 5 when it was on. Remember, it was on Xbox 360?
Oh, gosh. Yes.
So we used to play all the time, and we would play in teams and stuff. And it reminded me of that because that was it. Yeah, it was hilarious. And I'm like, are we trash?
Are we trash? It was really funny.
You know how many times I watched it because I was like, yeah, that was us. We were awful. We won sometimes, but we were awful. We were better against the CPU. There were times we didn't even get to the CPU. But there was one thing before we get into all the Xbox sad, horrendous news that I want to ask you guys something. I'm going to make a short out of this. So just so you know, this is kind of funny. You guys know I got the Asus ROG Ally, right? So along the case, it says Republic of Gamers, right? You see that, Nick?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you something else. So I bought a case for my PlayStation Portal on Amazon. It was the least expensive one I can find that would get here the quickest because I need it for this weekend. And it says Reputation.
You got a Naki.
You
got a Naki. He got a Naki, everybody. Shit. Oh, man. Did you know that going in, though?
Yes. I did it on purpose. Because I could have spent like $2 more to get one that's a little fancier without the Reputation of Gamer. The fact that it said Reputation, I'm like,
oh my gosh, dude. Oh, really? He got a Naki.
Like, you couldn't even try. You had to make it ROG.
Like,
you couldn't have gone like Democracy of Gamers. You got a Republic and you got a Democracy.
You got a Naki. Oh boy.
Or Revolution. They could have put Revolution.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm like, something. Boy, did they get lazy on that one.
Trying to pick the first English word with R that they could find.
Oh my gosh. That is just quite brilliant. That is brilliant.
Because Cody, it's a case for my PlayStation Portal. It's a hard case.
Gatanaki.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't expect to laugh so hard at your reaction.
It took me a second, but it's like when the unboxing videos. I have stuff lined up. I've just been super, John. I really, really want to do some unboxings. Not only that, I'm fixing my gaming, my Gina repellent cases, and I would like to do maybe a 1 to 3 part episode series, 1 or 2 videos of my collectibles and why I have them, and so I want to do that.
You need to do a game room tour.
Yeah, basically a game room tour.
Yeah.
My study. It's my study. It's my study.
Wait, can't you just call it a game house tour?
Technically, I could, yes, because my living room.
Don't you have gaming stuff through your entire house?
I literally do, yes. My racing sim setup is literally next to my couch in my living room. And yeah, and I have games, my consoles, and everything.
That is a repellent.
It is.
She walks in, hi, bye. You're like, but.
Never stopped the last girlfriend I had a few months ago. It was that way.
Wait, what's going on here?
Twitter power.
No. I've been focused on MegaCon and everything that's going on with Gina Carano. Oh my God, my entire YouTube feed and X feed is all about Gina Carano suing Disney because
yes.
I know a lot of the people. I know Drunk 3P Jay. I actually know him. I got to hang out with him this weekend, and yeah, so that's what everything I've been seeing is about. So it kind of sucks, and it's a good thing because it kind of delayed a lot of the stuff that I was working on. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to bring that up in detail. I will tell Nick later. I've got some other stuff behind the scenes to talk about. But until then, let's move on because that's going to talk about something else. Living Ranger key in it. If you're in, okay. I'll look it up. But with that being said, do you want to start talking about Xbox?
Let's start talking about the box of the X.
Holy moly! Like, I was looking for a specific article, and then I said, "Screw it! I'm just going to show everything."
Yeah, just bring it all up so we can kind of see.
Look at this. This comes from Pure Xbox, and I love the way that they have it all situated because it's like drama. It's like, look at all the stuff. The first one is, what do you expect to see from Microsoft's update on the future? News: Phil Spencer addresses Xbox speculation ahead of business event. The Disney nonsense. The FTC is concerned about Xbox's recent batch of employee layoffs. Xbox fans urged to remain calm as emotions run wild on social media. There was something else. Where was it? Xbox legend Major Nelson shares his curiosity about this week's rumors. I mentioned that one. Oh wow. Toys for Bob office closing, but there's apparently no need to worry. Those are the people that made the Crash and Spyro remasters, and they're under Xbox. So there's just so much here. Xbox no longer making consoles begins trending as panic continues.
Oof.
Like, just look at all this stuff.
Well, I mean, this whole, I don't know what you would call fervor started when they said they were basically moving forward on like any games that I believe is coming directly from Microsoft and its umbrella of developers are no longer going to be releasing physicals.
Right. It started. You can even go one step back. Okay. When I covered the leak where Microsoft, it was inadvertently confirmed that the new consoles would be all digital. The new Series X is all digital. Even they're doing the Xbox Design Lab version. They showed all that. Right then, I broke the news. Windows Central broke the news. And it all just kind of blew up from there. Then we had more news on the Series S. Then the news came out about the layoffs. And then where did the main layoffs come from? The physical production sector. And then it all just started going downhill. More news came out about the first party games no longer being first party. Starfield being pulled. They told Walmart and other retailers to pull the discs off their shelves and destroy them.
Really?
Yes. So there's been a lot of, as you said, fervor about all this, and Xbox fans are none too happy.
Do you feel like
Why? I'm one of them.
Well, do you feel like Xbox is trying to set the trend on all digital before Sony does it?
Sony's not going to do it.
You don't think Sony will do it?
So, nope, especially now because Sony's going to go, hey, look, we know you people love physical too. We're going to do both just to stick it. Remember when they did the how you share your games thing for PS4 back in the day and the guy just handed the other?
Yes.
So that's how they're going to,
Okay.
if they ever thought of going all digital, they won't anymore because there are always that massive sector customer of your customer base section of your customer base that wants physical games. Nintendo knows this, and now Sony definitely knows this, and they're not going to do it because look at the fan reaction, look at the backlash. It is massive. And Microsoft's the next Sega. Done. If this is the way they go, they are the next Sega. They will pull out of the console market. And you know what? I don't blame them. They fumbled the ball with the Xbox One at launch, and they started strong with the Series X. But by not having any exclusives and doing this and coming up with Game Pass all over the place, can you blame fans for going, all right, I'll just buy a PlayStation?
Well, the thing is, too, here's the thing. Obviously, I'm PC. However, I have like 6 terabytes of hard drive space, okay, on my computer. Consoles, they make you purchase the reason why I'm getting ahead of myself here. The reason why consoles don't really have all of this large disk space is because people don't want to be spending more than $500 on a gaming console. So then what do you get? You get like 899 gigs because, technically a terabyte, right? But then the operating system, etc. So you get that's what you get. You don't want to pay anything more than $500 for a console. You get a terabyte of hard drive space. So I have friends that are just downloading a couple games, and then they have to uninstall some just to install some other ones. You're one of them, right? Yeah.
Even with the expansion of memory on the consoles in terms of storage, you got the little memory card on the back of the Xbox, but it's still hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
Same thing with the SSD because on the PS5 because it has to have the heatsink. The heatsink jumps up the price. Where on last generation you could buy a rather inexpensive. I have a 4 terabyte and a 2 terabyte or something like that. I think I have a 4 and a 5 terabyte.
Okay.
On my Xbox in my game room because it has all my Xbox One and older games on it, and boom, I'm good to go. You can't do that anymore.
Well, so like, point being, I guess, really is I don't mind that my PC games are all digital because I have the space for it. Not only that, I'm on a reliable system, which is Steam, for the most part reliable, right? Unless you're Linux, but a lot of games have been going to Linux as well. But I'll always have those games forever. Steam is huge. It's like a juggernaut, right? But when you go to console and it's like, so I have to uninstall and then reinstall, and then those servers are slow as molasses. People want the physical. They want to get the game. They just want it to go. So,
and I'm gonna honestly, D-Man says Xbox has been kind of falling apart since after the 360. It seemed, yes, since Xbox One. And I'm gonna have to. I keep forgetting because we're now on Spotify. If you guys haven't, follow us on Spotify.
You have that link?
I'm going to read every chat whenever I address it, because if you're listening on Spotify, you're not going to know what I'm addressing. So, yeah. Oh, and I'm going back. Let me address this, Cody. Cody says, YouTube just gave me a big bad toy store ad in the middle of the stream. That's never happened before. Yeah, because the stream is now monetized outside of super chats or anything like that. So they're going to put more ads during the stream. It happened to me when I forget who I was watching. I think it was the other day I was Star Wars Theory and Drunk 3PO were at Disney Springs. And I was watching their live stream and I was like, oh, and boom, ad right in the middle. I was like, okay. So now they're throwing up more ads during the streams. Kind of annoying for people watching, but it's actually good for us. So if it just does it a countdown, just skip it when you can. But
skip.
Yeah. So, but yeah. With that being said, whoa. Okay, no. Cody says I have 3 WalMarts and all 3 have discs. Yes, they are currently going to have discs. It's where and when they start doing these things. So the article broke 2-3 days ago. Again, I didn't address any of it because I was at MegaCon. If you guys can see, I have my Ripaverse bag right there. So that was cool. Hopefully you guys watched that video. If not, go and watch that video after this podcast. The one of me at MegaCon meeting all those awesome people. But we'll talk about that later. So, man, things just look like they're just getting worse and worse and worse. So let me pull this back up. Which one do you want to address first? I actually want to see what Xbox, the fact this one says Xbox fans urged to remain calm as emotions run wild on social media, because we know all the stuff. But that's a funny thing to pick. He's really mad. That seems like a Twitter thing. Don't make me tap the sign. So let's see what it says. It hasn't exactly been a gentle start to the week in Xbox land, has it? The rumors and speculation about various first-party Xbox exclusives jumping to other platforms has caused all sorts of drama over the past couple of days.
That's a bad move. They need exclusives. Consoles need exclusives. I'm sorry.
There's no reason to buy a dang console.
Otherwise, there's no reason to get to fandom on a specific console. Sorry. Me as a PC gamer, bring them over here. Otherwise, the consoles have their
Okay, I'm going to read the rest of this, and then I'm going to say something that I also read today, but I don't know how big the source is, but it just makes sense. In fact, the level of upset has been so severe that it's even led to some Xbox owners selling their consoles and influencers denouncing their support for the brand. Keep in mind, nothing has been announced by Microsoft as of yet.
Nerds.
No, I don't blame them. But if you're an Xbox influencer, don't denounce the brand, because your followers, your audience has followed you because you are an Xbox person. So if you're doing that, you are going to lose your fan base. You're going to lose your audience. Do not do that. Do like I do and just go, man, this sucks. Let's stay positive. In response, The Verge's Tom Warren has stressed that just because Microsoft is considering bringing certain Xbox games over to PS5, it doesn't mean they'll all make the jump. The Verge was the outlet that mentioned about Indiana Jones, for example, but Warren advises it's only a consideration and not full and final thing. Okay. Okay. Let's unpack this. So, people are getting mad. I understand. As someone who has put a lot of money into the Xbox ecosystem, it is very enraging. But I read something today that says Microsoft is going to bring out this console, this all digital Series X, right? 2026, we're going to see another Xbox console, which will be the next gen. I read something last week that said it's not going to be anywhere near as powerful, but it's just going to be a box that's going to be inexpensive for people to play their games and Game Pass. Okay. but the PS6 will be the most powerful console out when it comes out. Okay, I would expect that. And if Game Pass is on there, why even bother buying the Xbox machine?
Well, 100%, I agree. You know, me, I'm sitting on the sidelines. Where's that Michael Jackson meme, dude? Where he's like eating popcorn,
Yeah,
just like I'm just sitting here, just watching this. What do they say? Um, Watching all this burn down, dude.
yeah.
Like I'm not. I understand how you're kind of emotionally invested in it. Me, I'm just like I'm just here. I'm just here to
To
watch the
to be
drama.
honest, I understand the Xbox. Here, let me. I understand the Xbox influencers and the Xbox fans being mad, and selling your stuff is one thing. If you're like, all right, I'm done, I'm switching. Hey, that's one thing. But the whole, like you just mentioned, burning it down is, yeah, okay, 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 okay. Take a step back before you denounce everything and say how much, oh, you're done. Me, I'm going to do this. I'm like, all right, if it comes out physically, I'm buying it on PlayStation now. If it comes out on Xbox and it's on Game Pass, I'll play it there because I am not stupid. I know what the future holds. I know I will buy that new Xbox Series X refresh. Why? Because I make money on it. Why? Because I do videos for the channel. I know I'll buy it. And if that does become my main console, I do play what do you call it? Exoprimal digitally. Do I have a physical copy? Yes. Because who knows when they remove things from Game Pass. But I play that digitally. I
Mm.
play Forza digitally because it only came out digitally. So I have Halo Master Chief Collection digitally. Halo Infinite, physical and digital, because it came digitally with. So if I think about it, all my main games on Xbox, I was forced into digital.
Well, I mean that's the whole
So
point of the Game Pass. Same with Sony's whatever stupid thing they want to call it. Like they want to get the best bang for their buck, right? Because these are big greedy corporations. And if they can get a $60-$70 game on a digital download without having the cost of the manufacturing discs and whatnot and shipping, et cetera, they're going to do it.
right, right.
But we're seeing the beginning, unfortunately, of physicals dying.
You know what? You know why I'm going to say full stop? You're wrong there.
Okay.
You know why? Because of this. It might have been. I would have agreed with you about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Now that we see the outrage amongst gamers, it's not going to happen because Nintendo, we know they're sitting back and going, ooh, and Sony's going, ooh, we're not ending physical anytime soon.
Well, Nintendo won't. I don't think Nintendo ever will.
You know what? I honestly thought Nintendo would be the first one to do it because of how much their cards cost.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, with a portable console these days, it's hard to bring around your device and then have an extra case or an extra thing of all your games, just like back in the Game Boy days.
What
You know,
I'm thinking really, I'm just really quickly. Sorry to interrupt. I'm thinking if Nintendo prediction,
mhm.
Nintendo kind of gets rid of physical games, but you'll have maybe what they do is they have a physical case, and then in that physical case is like a special looking edition card with like a QR or something on it, dude, and you get like some artwork or something in. And then that is your physical, but it's not like a cartridge. It's just a box with like a
you
nice
mean
card.
you mean like the Intellivision Amico did?
Is that what they
Oh,
did?
the console's not out, but all their games are exactly like that.
Really? I did
Yeah,
not know. Oh
yeah.
wow.
I was watching. I think Scott the Woz bought all the physical games, where it was just a little token kind of thing.
Yeah, like a
With
token. There you
yeah,
go. Yeah. Oh
but
wow.
that's
Okay.
not what people want because
No.
there's no value in it. There's no
Yes, correct.
monetary, there's no resale value. You're you have no value to your collection. And people like having that physical value because God forbid something happens, you've got assets. You've got physical assets. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why gamers, people would say, no, I don't do it. I just do it for the fun because I enjoy it. BS. Every physical gamer, every physical game collector knows in the back of their head they're buying this because they know in the future these things are going to be worth a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, PS1, these consoles have skyrocketed. Sega Saturn, these consoles have
I
skyrocketed.
still, I 5 years ago, I was going to buy a Saturn for like $50 and I should have got it. Yes, I
Well,
know. Yes, I
the thing
know.
is, the machines are not as expensive as they used to be. That at one point they hit around $400 or $500. You can get a Saturn, a decent condition Saturn for around
Yeah, but
maybe 250.
this
So it's not that bad.
the
I
games are
got one
so
for ten
expensive.
dollars
Let's see
about
how
15
much.
years ago.
See how
ten
much.
dollars.
Let's see how much. Really,
Yeah,
Panzer
because someone
Dragoon.
tried to trade it in at my GameStop. This might be 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm 40. Sorry, about 20 years ago. But still, they tried to trade it in, and we didn't take it. So I was like, I'll give you $10 for it. And my boss was like, Yeah, sure, I don't care.
Look at this.
I gave him
Panzer
$10
Dragoon
for it.
Sega Saturn complete in box with registration card is actually cheaper than what it used to be. $100.
It's not $100.
Says it on eBay.
No,
Yeah,
that's $1,000 game. It was 1,300. Now it's 1,000. No way, it's $100. No way.
dude, I'm looking at it
It
right
might
now.
start at $100 for the bidding,
No,
but that there's no way that game is $100. Panzer Dragoon? No, no way. Complete mint was like was last time I saw it was around 1,000.
go look. I'm gonna send you something and look in your Discord, or look in your DMs for Discord.
Yeah, here it goes. Da, 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 da. So yeah, okay. $100, no interest, if paid in full. Buy it now, add to cart. No way. No, you know which one I'm thinking of? This is regular Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah,
I'm thinking not two,
Panzer
not
Dragoon
Sway.
Saga, seven
Yeah,
hundred $60.
Saga. Saga. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, it's Saga.
One
Well,
expensive piece of
700, that's
plastic.
not bad.
760. That's two bids with 19 hours left.
That used to be about a year and some change ago. That was $1,300, and at two local game stores, they have them around 1,000 here. So yeah, they're probably going to see them drop in price over at those stores because they stay pretty competitive. But that's another thing. All these games that we've been talking about have also been, a lot of them have been re-released or remastered or somehow digitally on current consoles. So it's causing the market to drop a bit. But what's going to end up causing the market to go back up, and people don't realize this, is remember what happened with the Wii U and the 3DS,
I
how they
love my
shut
Wii
down
U.
their marketplaces and the
Mhm.
Wii and everything like that? These digital marketplaces don't stay open forever. So it's going to cause the games to spike again. And yes, D-Man just brought up, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. This is what I was going to get to. I'm going to read it. You know, some people out there got very rich in 2020 when games and card collections got so dang expensive. That's a different story because of the lockdowns and not being allowed out. People were just sitting at home buying up video games and buying up old board games and TCGs, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. People were doing that, and that's what caused the spike uh, of physical gaming in 2020. But within the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, we've seen the market, I wouldn't say crash, but settle out.
Mhm.
So it's not bottomed out
Like
yet,
it's like a
but
like the whenever there's something that skyrockets in collections, it's like a bubble. The bubble
yep,
eventually pops. It
the
always
bubble
does.
has burst.
Yeah.
Yes, the bubble, perfect. The bubble has burst and the prices are coming down, especially with Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 games. Like, for example, I got the Transformers Transmetals the one that was the Blockbuster exclusives. At one point, that was a $500 game. I got it for 150.
Dude, I'm on the hunt for Clay
So
Fighters Blockbuster Edition, dude.
that's still around $1,300 to $1,600. I got a I broke down and bought a repro cart just because I wanted to play it,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't find, and I wasn't going to
1349
emulate it.
just for coverage. Woo,
Oh,
this guy's got some
Co-
audacity,
Cody,
dude.
Night Cody, thank you
Cody,
for
good
being
night.
here.
Thank you for stopping by. I'm looking. This guy's
So
got 10,999 or best offer. You wiener. Those are the worst type of people. Hey, I got this game. I'm gonna put it up on eBay for 10 grand.
the highest I've seen it is 10 grand.
This guy's
That's the
asking
highest.
150,000. Complete inbox.
I think the most I've seen it go for was about $1,600.
Get out of here, dude. These people are out of their gourds, man. Clay Fighters is fun, but it's not $4,000 fun.
Because
it's
of
not
how
even, as a
limited it
collector,
is,
it's not even worth it. This is the biggest way. If you walked up to me and said, "Yeah, I spent $4,000 on Clay Fighters," I go, "Congratulations, you're an idiot."
Unless it's Elon Musk, because then
That's
he would be like,
yeah.
"Yeah, 4,000. If I drop that, I don't. It wastes money to pick it up."
Unbelievable waste. 16,887.
Oh,
People have copies, dude.
You know what, D-Man? You're not kidding, because it was 2020 when all this happened, and D-Man says when the PS5 came out, people were selling it for $2,000. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, when I moved to where I'm living now, PS5s were impossible. So my local game store was only selling them in bundles, and they were $1,000. But you had to buy the extra two controllers, the extra two games, and there was a markup. There was about a $200 markup, but you had to buy it with all the stuff, because they didn't want to. A lot of these stores that did get them, they didn't want to sit on all the accessories and the games if someone was going to buy the console and just resell the console. So in order to sell everything, they made bundles mandatory. That's how I ended up getting one of mine and my wife's one. But we were like, okay, we're gonna buy one anyway. There's a lot of games she wanted to play, and it just, we only had one, so that's what we ended up doing. But we got, like, I think it was like 2 games and 2 controllers with it, or something like that. I forget the games. And they even had the collector special edition, so we got the most expensive version of whatever game they had, and blah blah blah.
I ended up, how I got it, how me and my buddy DeAnderlace got our PS5s, and I got rid of it because I was like, I'm not going to play this thing. There were websites that would tell you when the time pockets would open up to go on Walmart's website and to get the console. So I had to click buy. So log into Walmart, click buy, put it in the shopping cart, wasn't there. Click buy. Like, I had to do this for about 10 or 15 minutes. And finally I got in, and it went in. I completed the purchase, and sure enough, it was at my doorstep in less than a week.
You know what? We did the same thing.
Were you able to get one that way?
They canceled it after we had purchased it. We got into the cart, hit buy, and then it said, nothing's in the cart. Sorry, it's gone. It's done. I'm like, we hit buy. And then as it was processing the transaction, after all the information, it canceled the sale. And we did that on 4 or 5 different occasions. But I put up a video on how I got my first one, and it was just it was a guy on the side of the road at the entrance of our of our community over by the guard gate when I was living in South Florida. And he was going to sell it to some guy off of Craigslist, because he got his kid a PS5 for Christmas, and his brother got his kid one for Christmas, so he was going to sell it. And the guy was selling it for $600, and I was like, or $650, something like that. So it was just a little over MSRP with taxes and everything. So he was waiting for the guy. The guy never showed up, so he was waiting there, and I was like, I'll give you that now. And then he said $50 more. And I'm like, I look at my wife, and she's like, yes. Okay. So we went to the bank, came back. The guy was like, nope, he's still not here. He hasn't showed up. He said he's on his way, but he's not responding now. Here you go. And then that's how I got it. And I opened it right in front of him. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And I opened it, and it was the actual console.
Yeah, because you
mixer.
don't want
It
to
wasn't like
want
a
a brick in
sack
there.
of potatoes or something.
Yeah, like and it's just bizarre that you. Hey, listen, that's a cool story. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. But it's just wild that that's what we had to go through to get a PS5 and the scalpers. Like, come on. You know, you ever see that picture? I don't know the validity of it.
Mhm.
This dude was like outside his apartment complex. He was loading up a van. It just had like a pallet of PS5s on it, and it was just like, I think people were buying them off of him, and he was delivering them to people. And someone up at their patio like took a picture because the dude had like opened up the van door and was handing someone a PS5. You could see.
I think I vaguely remember
I might
RGT
be
covering that or something like that.
Yeah, I might be like not framing the picture correctly, but it's on kind of par for that. And it's just ridiculous. But I mean,
and you know what? With internet bots and scammers, that's how it's going to be. And I think one thing I think with all this that Microsoft is going through is they're trying to avoid that in the future. Because the Xboxes were doing the same thing. People were doing that with the Xbox. I was lucky enough to get my Xbox Series X at the GameStop by my house because I knew all the guys who worked there, friends with them. I knew them when I worked for GameStop, stuff like that. So they made sure all the pre-orders went out like this, and they made sure they didn't pre-order the last one, just so I could get the pre-order. And then the same day, I pre-ordered my Series S on Xbox.com through the Microsoft Store. So I was able to get both, but I think with that saying, okay, you don't have to worry about next generation of consoles. All you have to do is just buy it here. You can just, whatever device you have, play your games there. You already got a PlayStation. You already got a Switch 2. You already got a Samsung TV. Just play it there. You don't need to wait in line and cause any. Okay. I get that. Hey, thank you, Dave, for the $5 super sticker.
Dave, what's happening?
Appreciate that. Now just another what is it? $145 to get my wife onto the show next episode. Oh, so I mentioned this last.
Oh, you let it compound. It can't just be one.
One day. It has to be in one episode. She said that if you guys want to see her on a future episode, it has to be $150 a night. And that's her payment for being on the show.
At a LA Guns concert.
At a LA Guns concert. Wow, Dave,
nice,
what
man.
are you,
Thank
like
you
90?
For stopping by, though. Taking time out of his
Dave,
little...
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Dave is at an LA Guns concert. Wow. But yeah, and that was another thing. John does bring up a good point. He says, Logan got lucky with the Halo Xbox version. He waited for 14 hours to get it. Yes, I did a video on that too. And I was filming while I was there. It was 40-degree weather, which is really cold,
dude,
for Florida.
Today was 40
for 14 hours.
Dude, today was 40 and sun. I was in heaven. I'm like, this is great. This is nice and warm today.
It was in the 60s today, and then all of a sudden I see a news report on my phone that says next week it's going to be in the 80s, and I'm like, thank God I'm not going to be here next week. So there is not going to be an episode next week, just so you guys know.
Heads up.
I didn't tell Nick that, but
I know now.
So yeah, unless Nick wants to run it himself.
No. I'll just end up streaming or something, or playing some games on my channels if people want to come by.
I did see D-Man's D-Man Gaming.
Sorry.
I was reading it backwards. I'm sorry, D-Man. I didn't mean it.
Oh boy.
His story on how he got his PS5, and I want to read it. So D-Man says, so it took me 2 weeks to get a PS5 at launch, and I even got one at TJ Maxx. Canceled, and they gave me like $300 back to go shopping with. LOL. So that was nice at least. Okay, I did not know TJ Maxx
Interesting.
was selling the
I
consoles.
That threw me through a loop too. Had no idea.
And then he says, I got my PS5 on Cyber Monday on PlayStation's website and said if I don't today, I quit. Funny enough, I got called in from work that day too because I was sick and got one. Nice. So yeah, that's a cool little story. And then he says on his how he got the Halo one. D-Man says, I got the Halo one too. Major?
It's called Meyer.
Oh, Meyer website. We don't have those here.
You don't have Meyer?
Meyer
Midwest
website
thing, then, I guess.
was for in store only, and they had over 100K people waiting. And I went to work that same Black Friday off 4 hours of sleep, but was a happy man. Nice. So yeah, that's one way to do it. And to be honest, I thought I saw someone that looked like D-Man at MegaCon because I saw when he was dressed up as Sora when he did a Sora.
I saw that.
cosplay.
I saw that
And
on
I
his
saw
Instagram.
somebody. I'm like, wait, what? And then I saw them. I was like, oh no. I was like, D-Man, what are you doing in Florida? So, but yes, the Xbox, man. I mean, with all the drama and everything, it just makes you think about all this and the console nonsense, the price hike nonsense, the scalper nonsense. That's all going to be gone. All of it's going to be gone. Well, in terms of Xbox, but think about it. It's going to be the only console that isn't going to have a presence, and Sony sales are going to double.
Think they're gonna double?
Easily. Because if you've got no Xbox to buy and you're a console gamer and Microsoft says, hey, Game Pass is on the PlayStation, what machine are you going to buy?
I just don't think Game Pass will ever make it onto Sony.
You know what? That's what I would have said until now.
I just do not see it happening. That is the main platform for Xbox. That's like a huge infrastructure. That's essentially PlayStation Plus. PlayStation has PlayStation Plus.
Microsoft
Xbox
pulls out. If Microsoft pulls out? What are they going to do? Only on Switch? I see Nintendo saying yes to it. If Sony says no and Microsoft says and Nintendo says yes, Nintendo sales will eclipse PlayStation. Why? Because you're going to have everything Nintendo and everything Xbox. You will have your Forza. You will have your Halo. You will have your Gears. You will have Fable.
Dude, imagine how weird that would be to play Gears of War on a PlayStation.
People said the same thing. How crazy would it be to play Sonic the Hedgehog on a Nintendo console? And it happened on the GameCube.
This is true. This is very true.
And it's before a lot of these kids watching these days even understand. They were, walking around with poopy diapers, crawling around with poopy diapers while we're going, yeah, console war, Super Nintendo, Sega does what Nintendo,
those were great commercials. Those old commercials for Super Nintendo and Sega, and even some of the risque ads that they did for like Game Boy and stuff like that. It's like, ooh man, like sexual connotations and things like that.
Oh no, those were great. You'd open up a game magazine, you're like, oh yeah,
yeah, dude.
Nowadays they're like, you can't show women.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Not even a pretty woman. You can't show women at all.
They just can't be attractive, and they need to be overweight.
And ugly, and possibly a guy.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, but welcome to the messed up generation. Welcome to Clown World.
Oh, man.
But it is kind of Clown World with no Xbox. Come on, they've been around since 2001. Just imagine that. Okay, that's it. I think we've gone on long enough with the sad news and all the Xbox drama and everything we've covered. Let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's go on our little side quest. We're only about 49 minutes in, so we got a little time. Hey, don't call me out like that on my age. You are like 6. D-Man is like 6 years old. He started on PlayStation 4.
Oh boy, dude. Oh
no,
boy.
I know he's not that young, but it feels like it. God, it feels like it. But thank you for always being in the chat, D-Man. Appreciate that.
I was just thinking about PS3 real quick here. I remember getting my PS3 and my mom taking me to Best Buy, and I bought SSX snowboarding and a vertical stand. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I got mine. Um, this was 2006, was that? When it came out, 2006, right? So I was supposed to go on a trip, and I spent the money that I was going to use to go. It was actually a Disney trip. I traded in half my game collection at the time, almost actually I would say 2/3, and spent another $300 from my trip money on the PS3, and I got no, it was $400 I think because I bought a game or something with it. No, 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 no games. That's right. I got home with just the box. I traded in because it was GameStop. Only got $200 for like 60 games because you know GameStop. And then I still spent like $400, and I got reamed for it.
Oh, now that I think about it, no, the SSX that was PlayStation 2.
Oh, that makes sense. What was your
Yes,
first game on the PlayStation 2?
SSX.
SSX? Connecticut. Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh, is that the floaty skateboard type of
Well, they had
Connecticut?
the wheels on their hands and on their
Yeah,
feet.
yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah, yeah.
these weird
That's what it
tricks.
is. Connecticut. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look
No,
at
no, no. That
the
was the
cover.
first one. No, 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 no. Sorry. Back a little further. When I got my PS2, I got it when I was working at Kmart. And then I went to Walmart and bought Rune Viking Warlord and Twisted Metal Black. The next week or month, I bought GTA 3 and then Connecticut. Then I got Silent Hill 2 and um, Final Fantasy 10. And then Tony
Connecticut
Hawk 3.
launch trailer for PS4. They made one 7 years ago. Was it like a remaster?
No, it was just a digital re-release.
I gotta see this game in action. I don't. I'll be honest.
Kingdom Hearts Steam Man. Of course it was. Of course it was. Because you're like 12.
Speaking of Silent Hill 2, I don't know if I'm gonna like the new gameplay.
It's Resident Evil 4.
It's Resident Evil 4, man.
Yep.
Like,
Well, John says his was NASCAR 2001.
NASCAR 2001. I couldn't get into a NASCAR racing game. I just couldn't. I can't do them.
NASCAR Rumble on PS1 was fun because it was a NASCAR kart game, pretty much. That was the only NASCAR game that I could ever get into.
You know what?
I love racing games, but
yeah, me too. The speaking of kart games, the only kart game that I felt during the time, this is for PlayStation 1, was Crash Team Racing. That could compete.
Would.
Dude, Crash Team Racing was a great
Diddy Kong
game.
Racing was mine.
Dude,
that was
here's
mine.
the thing.
Diddy
I
Kong
have
Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing American and Japanese. I also have a VHS tape of a. I have.
So do I.
You have the Ninja Turtles bought me the VHS tape for my birthday.
I found it at a thrift store. I can't remember
That's
where
amazing.
I was. We somewhere here in Central Florida. I forget where we were, but I found it and I was like, "Oh, I have to get." It was $5, and I was like, "Okay, sure, no problem." But yeah, I have it too. Wow,
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm trying to find a VHS player. I gotta when
VCR.
Yeah, VCR VHS player. Is that what I called it?
Yes. You know what? I'm not going to get you for that. My wife did that she did the same thing and totally forgot it was called a VCR.
VCR.
And I was like, I did this. I went, a VCR? She's like, that's right.
Well, where I work at, man, we recycle so much electronics, and I just need I saw a VCR in the recycling that looked fine, but I was like, I don't feel it's calling me. So hopefully when I see a VCR in the recycling box.
I had one. And it died, I don't know, maybe about right before I started dating my wife. So we're talking about 9 years ago. And then when I moved out, I got rid of it. And in the last few months, we've been looking for a VCR because I have VHS tapes in my garage. I hope they're still all right. But we're trying to find one. It's like and we've been going from thrift store to Goodwills to you name it,
Hmm.
and we still can't find them. And for some reason, eBay's got them for hundreds of dollars.
You know, I've been going to the thrift stores to look for them too. Problem is, dude, you got to test them, and they don't. None of them work.
Right.
So, yeah, So I'll keep my eyes open for a couple VCRs for us. Okay,
Appreciate that.
because I don't
And
like.
you know what?
They'll
I'm
probably
doing
just
the
give
same
me the
thing.
VCR.
So now I'll look for two.
Yeah, thank you.
If
Yeah,
you if you can get them from your job, even better. If I can find them, I'll snatch up two, and then
yeah, perfect.
we'll work out that way.
Yeah.
But man, it's ridiculous because I think about it, and I was going through my garage the other day. I used to have a ton of VHS, and now I only have a bin about this big. And I was looking through it, and I have. Do you remember when Pizza Hut was doing the X-Men on VHS? The X-Men
Yes.
cartoons?
Yes.
I have those.
Oh wow.
I have Dino Riders on VHS.
Dino Riders, dude.
The ones that came with the certain toys. I have 2 volumes. Harness the power, Dino Riders, Tyco RC. All the Tyco commercials at the beginning.
I'm
I'm old, people.
looking
Yes,
at
I am
eBay.
old.
$84 for Sony VCR and cassette recorder. Wow, dude. I would like to get a Sony one because my 24-inch TV flat screen for retro gaming is a Sony Trinitron flat screen. Thing weighs like 100 pounds. It's unbelievable, dude.
It's funny. I'm looking at the chat right now, and I'm seeing John and D-Man are talking over here, but D-Man brings something up. He says, speaking of X-Men 97, why do I feel like they'll somehow mess up the show's return? Because you are 110% correct.
Yes.
I've been going through this big mess on Instagram this last few days because one of the pages I follow, an X-Men page, posted comparisons of all the characters, old and new. And the women are all frumpy, flat, not curvy. Their hair's awful, and they look like doo-doo butter. The guys, of course, they're still muscular and built, and they look better. But of course, it's okay for the men to still look good, but the women have to be ugly and, not very feminine. And I brought that up, and all these oddball, far leftoid weirdos with pronouns in their bios and private bios are all saying the same thing. Oh, you're just mad because you can't jerk off to comic books. I'm like, no, that's your thing. You need Jesus. I'm an actual character design. I've been in character design. I'm an artist. It's what I do. I point out this is bad. This is good. This looks like crap. And then I now have more people agreeing with me. There's hundreds of people, like 200 something people that have liked it, where there's been like a dozen people doing that, and all the NPCs, same response. You just can't jerk off to them. I'm like, is that really all you people think about?
Yes.
And
in my case, yes.
And I have more people who've gone through it and laughed and agreed with mine and liked them because there was some people I'm just going to leave it. Seriously need Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to find I'm doing new X-Men cartoon versus old X-Men. What to expect.
They look terrible. Like the animation just looks bad, but the women are the worst. And of course they had to give Storm they're calling it her 80s style with the mohawk, but they just wanted to give her the shaved head because we know how that works.
Is it purple too?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if by the end it was.
What are they calling the new X-Men cartoon?
X-Men 97.
X-Men.
Because that's the year it ended. But yeah, it's DMA goes, why does that matter? It's literally a character's design. What does it have to do with anything? Dude, they don't like the fact that the women look like women. And I was pointing out why they look so bad compared to the older ones. Because you can't have characters, especially women, who are extremely feminine and still badass.
Okay,
you
so
cannot
I'm
these
looking.
days. They have to be manly or ugly or fat.
Jubilee looks great.
No. Did you see her face? They changed her face completely. If you look comparison, she doesn't even look like like, oh,
Gambit
if you
looks
look at
great.
it
Wolverine, Beast, that looks great. Oh,
until
look
you
at
see the
Storm.
comparisons.
Hang on a second. Wait a minute.
No,
Am I looking
Jean
at the
is
wrong ones?
ugly. Maybe Jean is ugly. Rogue is ugly, and they look like you went up to a wall and said, "Hey, that's a wall." You know, they look awful.
I like this. I'm looking on X. Petition to give Storm her hair back. Some things need to stay in the 80s. Correct. I agree wholeheartedly.
Right, because that 90s Storm is iconic.
Yeah.
That white slash silver suit, depending on who drew it and where it came from. But in the cartoon, it was white with the long white hair with the gold or bright yellow accents. That is an iconic Storm. And anybody mess up my Storm, I will be pissed. We have, I saw this amazing Storm statue that I really wanted. It's in my wife's office, and I was like, the statue is amazing. And I got it. And so we keep it in there because she's got some of her favorite, she's got a shelf with her favorite female superheroes on it. And that's up there too because I thought it was epic. Storm is one of my favorite characters. And I've seen this amazing, huge Storm statue, and I'm like, oh, and it was the silver costume. So it's the same one, but silver, and it was painted. It looks so good, but it was like $1,000 something, and I was like,
of course, it's a ridiculous price. I don't think they're as bad. There's a few characters here that are just terrible. But Wolverine looks great. Gambit looks fantastic. Cyclops
Gambit was the best looking one.
Gambit
Beast
was my
all right.
favorite.
Wolverine looks a little wimpy. He's not as before. He was like if you see the comparison image, the older Wolverine was buffer. He was more aggressive looking. This one he's kind of like,
hey bub,
Wolverine.
Hey Cyclops, stop being a little bitch.
And Cyclops kind of looks like a yeah.
Well, he was always a little. He's like Leonardo, the leader. Bing, bing, bing. But I'm in love with Jean Grey.
Those are my second. Those are my second favorite characters, with Raphael and Wolverine being my first. The ones that they always got in the fights with. I've always said this growing up. Those characters are like two halves of my personality. So it's like Wolverine and Cyclops merged is my personality. That's why I was so drawn to those characters.
I always really liked Gambit.
Raphael and Leonardo.
I liked Gambit because I knew he was boinking Rogue, and as a kid, I didn't know I had feelings towards Rogue. So, but I always had respect for Gambit.
So my favorites growing up, there are 3 female characters in X-Men that were my crushes. You had Jean, you had Storm, and you had Psylocke.
Ooh, Psylocke, dude.
Yeah.
Rule 34, let's see.
Whoa, no. Okay. Now you're going to prove the weirdos right by looking up Rule 34.
Dude,
Stop
I
it.
have some Psylocke comics, dude. Woo, boy. That's a good character design right there.
I have the Psylocke ones, and then when they released Revanche, which is, her original one, Betsy Braddock, because if you know the story of how Psylocke how Betsy became Psylocke, it's a really cool story, how they got mind switched and everything like that, and then Betsy is Psylocke, and then the character who's Psylocke became Revanche, and then she joined Excalibur, all that. I read all those books as a kid, so.
But, how was X-Men Apocalypse movie?
It wasn't terrible.
Because
it was better than what was that one with all the X-Men Phoenix something? Oh, that was awful. Dark Phoenix or whatever it was. It was
what really
terrible.
Kind of like took me I was excited for it. And I remember I was at a convention and there was a company there.
There you go, Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
Was the worst. Yeah. That movie was awful.
Am I making this up or what? I recall, I don't know if I think it was, I'm just going to say it was a YouTube video. And the company that does like prosthetics and stuff like that made an Apocalypse bust. And we were like, we can do this. We could put this on,
right.
And it looked amazing. And
no,
Apocalypse,
I saw that. There was a guy,
is a big boy. Like isn't
Right. And there
Apocalypse?
was a
Well,
guy who
he
actually
gets
had that
bigger.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he had it on.
Yeah, there was a guy at a con where I saw the video of wearing that, and it looked more like Apocalypse and looked better than the one they used in the movie.
And
The
here
movie
and
one
they
was like
and
a kind of wimp.
yeah, see the guy. I think the guy who played Apocalypse is a very good actor. However, he
Right.
should never have had that role. They should have had like someone like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, size, stature, and everything
Yeah.
be Apocalypse. Apocalypse is terrifying. This
Yeah.
Apocalypse does not look. Was he
D
terrifying in the movie?
D-Man, your dad is correct. D-Man says, my dad said they messed up Apocalypse in the movie, and
Yes,
I
should have been.
agree. They
Mm-hmm.
goofed. He should have been more like Thanos. 110%. You know he's stronger than Thanos? If Apocalypse had the gauntlet, the world would be gone. Every mutant, half the people, everything gone. Bend it to his will. He
Really,
would make Thanos. Oh yeah, he's the oldest mutant. He was the first mutant.
dude. Like his.
So
I'm looking up his Wikipedia. He looks terrifying, dude.
yeah,
Like
there you go, D-Man. You are correct. Apocalypse was okay, but Days of Future Past was fantastic. I really did like Days of Future Past. It was pretty good.
I'm just curious on how tall, like, he regularly is. Variable. Okay, they say that
Variable. Yeah,
it's
he can grow
variable,
just like
usually around 7 feet.
yeah.
So they should have had like I said, like an actor. There were so many actors, better actors that could have played that role, and I didn't even see the movie because of it. I really don't care to because it loses me. You know how when you watch a a show and the voice acting throws you off, and you're like, I can't do this.
hmm
Same thing goes with this X-Men Apocalypse.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
I just looked at our viewer count. As soon as we started talking about X-Men, people left. Like, video game talk is done. So
That's all right. I never worry about that. I don't care.
the side quest is when our viewer count just goes
That's
whee.
okay.
But that's a big fun part because hey, our chat loves the side quest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's fun. But one thing, since we are talking about X-Men, MegaCon was epic. What did you think about all those pictures that I sent you, Nick?
It was nice. Where was I when you were sending them to me? I think I was working. I was working.
It was pretty late though.
I had a 16-hour work day that day.
Ooh.
I did my regular
So
job, went home, ate right away. Barely was able to sleep for 20 minutes. It wasn't even asleep. It was just my eyes closed. And then I worked a full shift at my buddy's bar restaurant, and that was pretty rough. I
oh
didn't get home until
wow.
5 a.m. Yeah.
Wow.
So when you were sending
Whoa.
me those images, I was at work with my other job, trying to get some extra.
Wow.
So these
Yeah, I was
circles under my eyes are pretty rough. And for some reason, my left eye
yeah,
is
I'm
leaking.
noticing that now.
If I don't catch it, it just leak down. And I've been
So
dealing with
you're
this. Just I don't know what it is. Sinuses.
that's a possibility.
I'm just
So
so happy
if
I'm crying.
for the people listening to it on Spotify, he's got some white goo squirting out of his eye as we speak.
Yeah, it looks like a little worm.
Yes, it does not. But it could. It could.
It could,
We,
but
we could add it. We could add the effect, but we're not going to. But with that being said, we were at I was at the Geeks and Gamers meetup when I sent you those pictures. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you go to Red Bandana Gaming on Instagram, you can see all those. And on X, I posted the video, the link to the video that I did everything. You can also watch it right here on YouTube, covering MegaCon. And I recorded very little video at the meet and greet, but my wife was like doing all the recording. So if some of it looks a little weird, it's because she was like in the crowd and going like this and back and forth. But she got some really good video with uh, Star Wars Theory. He was there. I got to meet him. He was awesome. You had Gary from Nerdrotic. You had Beardo. Jay, of course, Drunk 3PO. Jeremy was there. Ryan Kinnell apparently got really drunk. And when I was talking to him, I was like, he seemed a little out of it, and I realized, oh, he's on the cusp.
yeah.
So, and then I was in their stream the next day. I was watching it while I was finishing up filming, and then he said, yeah, he had gotten wasted that night. I think him and Critical Drinker got wasted. I didn't take a picture with Critical Drinker because I didn't realize that was him.
Mhm.
So, and I was like, okay, that was cool. And it sucks because my wife got the footage of Gary from Neurotic, but I never got to see him except for when he was filming with Beardo, and I wasn't going to go, hey, get in the middle
Mhm.
of that. But I was in their stream, in their live stream, and Beardo stopped and talked to me and asked me what I was drinking, and he was like, hey, wait, I know your name because I'm in their High Tea Thursdays, which I was today. I was talking with Jay the other day about it, but whatever. That was real. That was a lot of fun. I got to meet Quarter Black Garrett.
Oh, really? He was there?
He was short, and I went, dude. I was like, you're awesome, but I didn't think you were this short. And he just laughs and goes, how tall did you think I was? I thought you were taller than me. He's like, nope. And I
How
was like,
tall is he?
dude, but how tall are you?
5'11".
Shorter than you. I would say he was about 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
So, like, if you see the video, if you see the photo, you can see how much taller than I am.
I'll take a look.
Jeremy and Ryan. No, the only one who's taller than me. Jeremy's my height. Jay is the only one who's taller. He's a giant.
Yeah, he
So
looks like he's a giant.
he's a big boy. So, but dude's super nice. And then Eric July, he was epic. I talked to him multiple times while I was there, and he was just the greatest dude. I mean, all those guys were really epic. And the coolest thing with Star Wars Theory, I didn't realize he was in the room until I watched how long he was in there until I watched the video that my wife took because I saw him on his way out, and I stopped him. Someone else was talking to him before he left, and he was like, "Sure, no problem." I told him that I was watching it and so on. It was yeah, it was a really cool experience. Got to meet a lot of awesome people. Now, you want to know the bad thing that happened at MegaCon?
What could possibly be bad?
You know who Felicia Day is, right?
Oh yeah, did you go say hi to her yet, or no?
You want to know what happened? So, there's no Wi-Fi unless you're going to pay $70 a day at MegaCon
They make you
for their
pay
Wi-Fi.
$70 for Wi-Fi.
Sorry, let me correct that. $79 a day for their Wi-Fi, and there was no way unless you left the entire building and came back in. So whenever we could get a little Wi-Fi, we finally got some, and then I looked to see what time and where the photo op was. I clicked on it, and apparently it showed me the wrong time and day. So I thought it was at 1:15, and then once we finally went back to double check, my wife had to use the restroom, so it was closer to the outside, and I finally
Mhm.
got on, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it says 12:50. It is now 1 p.m. So we run to get our way over to where she is, and she left less than 15 minutes after the signing started.
Oh wow.
She left for the day, and this was at around 1:15. Apparently, no one wanted to take photos with her or get her autographs or anything like that. She had
No.
like apparently no line. It was
So she
something
would
along those
leave?
lines. She just
Damn.
up and left. That's what
Wow.
they told us. She left. And like her entire line was done in like 5 to 10 minutes. So there was nobody there that wanted to. So we had to wait for about a half an hour in the line to see about getting a refund. They wouldn't give us a refund, but they would allow us to take what we spent and put it towards another photo. So my wife was going to get a photo with. I don't know how familiar you are with Princess Bride.
Not very familiar.
Well, there's the bald guy in it who goes inconceivable. So she was gonna. I can't remember his name at the minute.
Oh,
At the moment,
that guy. Okay, I
right?
remember. I remember that. Yeah, that guy.
Okay. She was gonna take just a picture with him. So what we did, we combined the money that we had from mine with hers and upgraded to her getting to take a photo with the entire surviving cast with the main
Wallace
four
Shawn.
characters. There you go. So she ended up getting to take a picture with the four main characters, minus Andre the Giant, of course,
Mm-hmm.
from Princess Bride. And I thought that was pretty cool. So that was my only bad story, but everything else at MegaCon was epic. And if you guys want to see all that footage that I was able to take and the stuff that I picked up, check out the video. It is on the channel right now. When you're done watching this or listening to this on Spotify, check that out. That's pretty cool. So MegaCon was epic, and maybe next year, because they're gonna do it in February of every year, which is smarter now because it's much cooler. Uh, and I just think it's a better time to do it. And the crowds are still pretty hefty. Like, I don't get anxiety or anything like that, but there were so many people, I felt like I couldn't breathe at one point.
Really?
And they were just moving in every direction. And I was like, oh my God, I've never had it like this. And yeah, I don't have these problems. So it was the weirdest thing in the world to experience this. And then I had to get out and I was like, whoa, like it was just too many people. So
That's how
it
Comic
was
Con
pretty
is
busy.
in Chicago here.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the amount
Because
of people.
when we normally go, we go 2 days and we go like Thursday, Friday, and then maybe spend a little time on Saturday. Last year, I think we did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we didn't spend as much time on Saturday because of how packed it was. This year, since it was our only day and I had to spend so much time there, and oh my God, the Ripaverse line, as soon as it opened, I got there a half an hour before it opened. And then we waited in line, and then I first thing I did was went to the Ripaverse. I was about maybe 15, 20 in line, and then the line went so far back they had to wrap it. And later that day, it was longer than half the celebrities. There was only one celebrity that had a longer line, and that was Gina Carano. So
Of
her
course.
line was the only one longer than Ripa, and Ripa only had a booth. And then when Star Wars Theory got there, it ended up blocking almost the entire secondary food court. How far it wrapped. They said it became a fire hazard at one point. There were so many people in line over there.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Did you were able to meet? I take it you weren't able to meet Gina Carano.
well, I was going to because I had already met her.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Jay was so busy, even most of the Geeks and Gamers guys didn't get to talk to him. So I reached out to him. I was talking to him in the morning about it, and he's like, "You'll see me around." But he was at her table the entire day. He was so busy. I was like, "All right, I'm going to talk to him tonight." So I waited till the event was over, and then I was talking to him about it. And she didn't come to the event. I didn't think she would. She would be psh, inundated with people. So, but it was ridiculously fun, and I picked up some really cool stuff. Yeah, I know I sent you a couple pictures, but yeah, it was great. And if you guys, again, if you're listening on Spotify, head to YouTube, check out that video when you're done listening to the podcast. But it was great. Um, oh, and I went on and I see everybody talking about
Gundam.
yes, be okay because there was a Gundam thing. Gundam. Hold on, let me pull up and see what it was called. Um,
Yeah,
Gundam
didn't you mention that they added a whole new Gundam thing like last week? It was mentioned about that or
Gundam Base.
Gundam Base.
Yeah, and then I have there. Did I send you the video or did I just post it
Maybe
of
you posted. I
the
think.
guy in the suit in the Gundam suit? Oh no, I sent it to John. John's a big fan of Gundam, but I don't know if you can see that. That is a life size,
Oh,
not a life size, but it's
but
a
yeah,
it's a
it's a big Gundam, dude.
it's yeah, it's the size of a human and a half. And then I don't know if I have. There was a guy in a Gundam costume.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
people's heads are right up here. You can. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
You know
just
what?
send.
I'm just gonna send you the dang picture now. So, like, if you were a Gundam fan, that was that was really cool. Now the line was ridiculous for that. Here, okay, I'm sending them to you so you can see them. I thought I sent you those, but yeah, the line for the Gundam base because it had Gundam models, Gundam figures, all kinds of stuff, and it was really cool. I didn't wait in line for it because I'm not a Gundam fan, but it was pretty long too. So that was oh excuse me, yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah, that looks really cool. That looks really awesome.
yeah, that was one of those things where I was talking to my wife about it. Depending on where we are as a channel next year, I might look into doing something at the con or getting a media badge. Last year they turned me down because I wasn't big enough.
Mm.
So I'm hoping maybe next year, um, maybe they'll say yes because I know they've given people with my current following press badges, but last year they didn't. So,
Um,
and I totally forgot about
I
it this year.
believe I got a press badge one year for Comic Con. I know Ninja Turtles did, and then
He's
he's
big
been
enough.
trying. Yeah, he's been trying. He's got over 70,000 followers now on
Yeah.
Instagram, and Comic Con out here has gotten super strict on giving press badges. So I don't know. I'm not going to Comic Con this year. I went last year and I almost regretted it. I didn't have as good as a
Comic
time.
Con, isn't that C2E2?
It's C2E2.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, it didn't.
C2E2. What does C2E2 stand for again?
I look this up all the time. It stands C2E2. Chicago Comic Con and Entertainment Expo. So Chicago C2,
C2E2.
Chicago Expo. Yeah, C2, Chicago Comic.
2 C's and 2 E's.
Entertainment Expo, C2E2. So stupid. If you want my honest opinion, that is dumb. That is stupid.
I get it, but it's And we just got MegaCon. And then I was in when I lived in South Florida, we did what is it called? SuperCon? And SuperCon is pretty willy-nilly with back in the day with the press badges. So I heard they've gotten a little stricter, but we'll see. So yeah, we're it looks like we're at that point of the night.
Indeed, we are.
So yeah, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We've gone on the end of this podcast on a high note. So is there anything else you want to say or plug, Nick, before we head out?
Gosh, I'm just gonna say, hey, like and subscribe this channel, Red Bandana Game. Share it too.
Share the podcast. We don't ask for that, but you know what? If you're here on YouTube or if you're watching it on X, because we do stream live on X as well, and if you're listening on Spotify, just share it. Wherever you are, whatever platforms you got, just share it. Get more eyes to the podcast, especially with the things that happened over MegaCon. Big things are going to happen on this podcast, so stick around.
Yeah, we have some really great potential interviews coming up. And hey, you know what? Like and subscribe at youtube.com/@click2enlarge.
Yes, you know what?
I need to get.
It's actually in the description below. Just click on the @click2enlarge and hit subscribe.
I would love to hit 2,000 subscribers. It's not that difficult. I'm at 1,730. 1,730 something. So
everybody, right now,
I just
hit
need
subscribe on Nick's channel because you know what?
More. It'd make me feel better.
We are the next big thing here at REDE2START podcast. So if you're here, you're on the ground floor of this rocket just going to the moon. We're not headed to Uranus. We're headed to the moon.
Ah, shucks.
You would. So, but you know what? Thank you everybody for watching.
We appreciate you guys.
Whatever platform you're watching us now. I never thought I would do this when we first started, putting us on so many platforms. But hey, you guys made it happen, and we're just getting bigger from here. We're going to be the biggest, the best, the greatest ever.
Pretty much.
Okay. Sorry, the February has been a great month so far. So you're going to get straight up nothing but energy from me and great content from the both of us. And he's going to do all kinds of awesome stuff. Trust me.
Indeed.
So now that everything's going great, and plus, just now you see this? You see what I'm pointing to?
Oh.
See what I'm pointing to?
I thought we were crossing.
Oh, we can. No. Then we have to do this.
Oh, are we fusing? Are we fusing right now? I can't get the angle, dude.
Over the head.
I could do it this. This is easier for me to do it this. There we go.
There we go. We need to have some kind of graphic for this. Oh, I don't have the thing to make the graphic. You know what? I'm going to do that next time and then press something. You know what? I gotta get one of those. What are they called? Stream Deck.
What about
The
the stream?
Elgato. Yeah, I got to get one of those. So next time we do that, I can have it timed and just go boom, and then we do the fusion, and we can come up with some kind of animation. I don't
that's
know.
funny. That's ridiculous. That's
That
great.
would be hilarious.
Yes.
Just because that's, and then we can create some kind of weird amalgamation of the two of us.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's possible. We both have the artistic talent to create something.
It would be ridiculous, but we could do.
It would be hilarious.
Yes.
So
oh gosh, I already have ideas.
Oh, you can use AI to combine our faces because
I want us to have it. I want to have like giant foreheads and stuff. Like it'll be great.
Yeah, with the blonde hair and just take mine.
It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. So, okay, we've gone on long enough about that nonsense. That was fun. But again, thank you guys so much for being in the chat. Oh, look at it. Oh, sorry guys, I was on the wrong thing. But again, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for watching us. Again, whatever platform you're on, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow, whatever you're doing, and then subscribe to us here on YouTube. Both of our links are in the description below. And stay tuned. Make sure you turn that bell on for notifications because we're every Thursday night, 9 p.m.-ish Eastern. And next week, there will not be an episode. I'm telling you that ahead of time because of stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
So don't worry. We are going to have episode 31 the week after. But no episode next week. Just make sure you double back and listen to this one. That would be fantastic. Again, thank you guys so much. We're going to call it a night. Nick, you want to try it again this time?
That's some news.
Be legendary. Thanks again.